But at the end of the day, it is like I said, put the fight on.
Hey, Wack, hey, yo, hey, this shit easy, nigga. Hey, all I'm talking about, nigga, I'm still out here trying to get it.
Contender Regime Boxing, checking back in with y'all, man. What's good? So we got Devin the Dream Haney moving up to 147 officially to challenge the currently #1 ranked fighter at welterweight, Brian Norman Jr., for his IBF championship. I believe it's the IBF belt that Brian Norman Jr. has. I think it's either the WBO or IBF. Y'all correct me in the comments. But Brian Norman Jr., currently a champion at 147. He's ranked as the #1 fighter in that division per Ring Magazine. I don't think he doesn't have the ring belt because he hasn't, 1 and 2 hasn't fought yet, but he's currently ranked #1. And Devin Haney is challenging himself yet again, you know, trying to be great, going up and fighting a top fighter, right? Somebody who is a perceived threat by the majority of boxing fans and, you know, outsiders analyzing this fight, and who is an actual threat. I think if you just look at the film, you look at all things considered, the fact that Devin is a smaller guy moving up, the fact that he's never officially had a fight at 47, the fact that he honestly haven't really fought anybody like Brian Norman Jr. that I can think of, a black American fighter with this level of athleticism, power, size, good speed, dog, inside fighting ability, who can also box a little bit, and who is young, in his prime, and been having great success in his recent fights. Brian Norman Jr. has been looking phenomenal over the last couple of years, and it seems like he just continues to get better. And I love his attitude and his demeanor outside the ring. It really makes all of the things that I see happen inside the ring make sense, because when I listen to him talk, when I watch an interview, I'm like, yeah, he throw it off a little bit in a good way. A dog, you know what I'm saying? Like he got that killer mentality. You feel me? Like he really ain't with all the bullshit. He really just he really just want to go in there and try to do something bad to you. So I like fighters like that. And that's why when, I don't know if y'all remember, I did a short when this fight was originally announced, or when they even, you know, put it out in the public that this could be a real thing. I made a short talking about how this is such a crazy move by Devin Haney. It doesn't surprise me, because it's the type of things that Devin Haney do to try to prove himself and try to gain the respect of fans and other fighters. At this point, I don't even think is Devin Haney trying to prove nothing to nobody else, or like try to gain respect of other people. I think this is just a makeup of Devin Haney. He just cut like this. Devin Haney just one of those guys that he really don't care, bro. He don't care who is on the other side of the ring. He just want to fight the best and prove to himself that he is at the top. And that's why you've seen in the past, Devin Haney really has rarely ever shied away from any competition. Anybody calling him out, he's either sent contracts, made advances to try to fight these people. Some fights happened and some of them didn't go through. But this is the one. This is one of the fights that actually got signed, and it's supposed to be on November 25th. That's next month. And it's gonna be in Saudi Arabia, Riyadh season, the whole nine, man. I think it's gonna be an incredible fight. And David Benavidez is fighting Anthony Yarde on that card too, I believe. But I think, man, this is gonna be really tough for Devin Haney. And you see the title, right? Like, can Devin Haney pull this off? Does Devin Haney have what it takes to pull this off? Yes. Will he do it? That's another question. I think Devin Haney has all of the boxing ability, the intelligence, the ring IQ and intellect, the pedigree, the experience, the coaching around him, and the people that he have access to as far as resources to be able to grab some tutelage or game or technical advice from to be able to help him with this fight. He has everything available to him, but it's different having the ability to do something and then being able to actually go out there and execute it, right? And I think that's going to be the tough part with Brian Norman Jr. being a physically, they going to be around the same height and size, right? Just from optics, but Brian Norman Jr. is clearly going to be the heavier guy on fight night. He's going to be the physically bigger guy, right? Just like when Terrence Crawford went up to fight Canelo, they might appear to be the same in height and stature, but Canelo is clearly the heavier guy. He's been fighting at that weight, and this is a little bit different because Brian Norman is as of today, he's a career 147-pound fighter. Devin Haney is a guy moving up from 135. You know what I'm saying? Who had fought at 40 and who had a catch weight fight at 144, testing the waters to see what he looked like above the 140-pound division. Now he's actually going up and fight a real welterweight, not only a real welterweight, but the number one welterweight in the division, who has been stopping shit, knocking boys out, putting on devastating and dominant performances, bloody, beating guys to a bloody pulp. I still, man, have that image in my head of him beating up Santillan in his hometown, bruh, and hitting him so hard that the man fell out in slow motion, and Brian Norman Jr. squatted down and watched his body drop. You feel what I'm saying? Watch this man bloody body just drop while Brian Norman watching with a psychologically impaired and a psychopathic grin on his face. You know what I'm saying? Like, the dude is nuts, man. And for Devin Haney to go up and fight this dude at his natural weight and challenge him for the title, you just got to commend that, bro. Do I think it's a smart thing? Do I think this is the best matchup for Devin Haney? No, but as a boxing fan, am I genuinely intrigued to see what's going to happen? How can Devin Haney pull this shit out? And if he can, I want to see how he going to do it. Of course, he going to have to box. Jab going to have to be sharp. When he jabbing, the right hand going to have to be up, because if he thought Ryan Garcia had a great left hook, wait till he feel one of them left hooks from Brian Norman Jr. You dig what I'm saying? So I think he's going to have to keep that right hand up. The legs going to have to be constantly moving, similar to how he was versus Jose Ramirez, but he's going to have to mix in a little bit more of standing your ground, fighting in the middle of the ring, and not do as much moving, because I don't think he's going to be able to win on the cards fighting like that because I think Brian Norman Jr. will be able to, with his athleticism, his foot speed, and his ability to cut the ring off, I think he will be able to get to Devin Haney and land shots, and he might end up having a more impactful shots. Even if some of those are blocked or slipped, it's gonna look more impressive and favorable to the judges, as compared to Devin Haney doing all this moving and only landing a jab here and there every other round. So I think Devin Haney gonna have to be more intentional about choosing his spots to move and then choosing his spots to stand his ground and box. For Brian Norman Jr., man, I think just be Brian Norman Jr., bro. Just go do what you've been doing. Yes, this is Devin Haney, a far more skilled and experienced fighter than he's been in the ring with, under the lights on an official level. So, of course, he's going to have to approach this and be as sharp as he ever been, be as consistent and as mentally prepared as he ever been, because it's going to be a lot of mental and chess match type of games being played in the ring when you fighting a guy like Devin Haney. A lot of thinking in the ring. So I think he's going to have to be prepared for that and be super sharp. But stylistically, just be Brian Norman Jr. and he should have success in this fight. Unless we see a Devin Haney that's just the best Devin Haney we ever seen. Because I think that's the type of Devin Haney we're going to have to see if he's going to go in there and not only just be competitive, but let alone beat Brian Norman Jr., man. So can Devin Haney pull this off? I think he can, bro, but he going to have to be damn near perfect. I still feel like Brian Norman Jr. is a favorite, as he should be, and I would not be surprised if Brian Norman Jr. gets a highlight reel knockout on Devin Haney. Do I think that's gonna happen? I'm not sure. I could see this fight going the distance because Devin Haney is such an experienced fighter, such great pedigree, former undisputed champion, 2-weight division champion. He knows how to survive. I've seen him get hit versus Jorge Linares. I've seen him get dropped multiple times by a drug-induced Ryan Garcia, a juice to the gills Ryan Garcia. You know what I'm saying? And still survive. So he got the fortitude, mental fortitude, the physical fortitude, the chin. Yeah, we seen him hurt, but he's shown the ability to recover and survive. So I think it's more likely that the fight goes to distance, but I would not be surprised if Brian Norman Jr. touches him and hurts him bad enough and gets. And I think if Brian Norman Jr. hurt Devin Haney, he gonna finish him. So y'all let me know what y'all think down in the comments, man. Do you believe that Devin Haney has what it takes to beat Brian Norman Jr.? How do you see the fight unfolding? And what do you think gonna happen, man? Y'all let me know what y'all think. Contender regime boxing. I'll holler at y'all boys, man.